Welcome to the Get This Work Sports Podcast. My name is Jesus. I am one of your hosts. My other host is my good friend,
Joseph.
yes, sir. Captain Joe on the Fortnite streams, as I like to call him. Yes, sir. Let's go. All right, we got the young, we got the new school, we got the old school. So I'm much older. Joe is coming up as a young man, so he's bringing me that new game. I'm bringing the old game. So old guard, new guard. So what are we getting into today, Captain Joe?
Okay, so we're gonna give our takes on how the second round has developed in the playoffs so far.
Yes, sir.
And
NBA.
it's been a weird second round.
Yeah.
It's been a very unexpected second.
Very true.
So far.
Well, and also what's interesting, that Mavs Clippers series and that OKC Houston Rockets series. Just a few words about that. One, I believe the Clippers, just like the Lakers, as I'll say this about the Lakers when we talk about them later. The Clippers got away with an unhealthy Maverick squad, and I believe if Kristaps Porzingis is healthy and Luka is healthy, it's a wrap.
At least a 7-game series, at least.
I'd say it's a wrap. I think they beat him in 6, and I think Mavericks take that series. OKC, it's not even about health. It's just like they needed one more dog. CP3, He looked tired in those last 5 minutes. Wasn't able to put up I think it was like a 8-foot jumper that he got free, and he bricked it like from the rim. And Steven Adams was not a help for him offensively, and it's a great story about Dort, but it was really sad. I was really rooting for them. I just want to say that about the first round for the Western Conference Finals, and then the East kind of went the way that we thought it would. I don't think we had any surprises.
You kind of forgot about probably the best series in the first round in the West. Jazz Nuggets.
I didn't forget. I just don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it because I was rooting for the Jazz. And I just, like I said, I'm not sold on Rudy Gobert. And this series proved again why I'm not sold on Rudy Gobert. You give Donovan Mitchell a legit center or a number 2 somewhere else. I will a legit center. You give him someone who can actually go out and score. And like Jamal Murray has Jokic, and Jokic has Jamal Murray. Like we argued in our first episode about Embiid versus Jokic, right? Donovan Mitchell was balling, but he has no one to run with, and I feel bad for that young man because I think Donovan Mitchell is a better player than Jamal Murray. He's being held back by a squad.
I mean, I just think that's how they decided to build that team, right? Like Rudy Gobert is a defensive anchor, right? And that's why they have one of the best defenses. And so he's not meant to score 20 points per game. He's going to give you 15 maybe, right? But he's going to give you 2 blocks, more than 10 rebounds, and he's going to be that defensive presence. And so that just has to do with how the Nuggets management made their team that way.
No, that's fair. I think that if you're going to say he's that anchor, I don't want to see Jokic get 25 plus points in a game. I just don't. If you're an anchor, take Jokic, put his little butt on the floor, and make sure he doesn't score 25 plus points.
I mean, it's hard to do that to the best center in the league.
He's not the best center in the league, and it should be easy to do.
All NBA first team Nikola Jokic.
All right, but this is supposed to be Rudy. We're just gonna keep our whole show is always gonna be going back down to Embiid and Jokic. But the thing is that Rudy Gobert is a 2-time, and correct me if I'm wrong, a 2-time back-to-back defensive player of the year, right?
Yeah.
I need him to, when I get into a game into a 5v5 or a 3v3 game with my teammates, and I'm not scoring very well. You know this about me. I will clamp the other guy and make sure they don't beat us, right?
Right.
That's what I expect Rudy Gobert to do.
Well, I think because Gobert is a paint defender. He's a terrible perimeter wing defender. Terrible. But he's a defensive presence down below. And since Jokic is both, he can hit the 3, he could hit the mid-range, and he could go inside and post you up. It was an overall mismatch for Gobert. Because
that's what's so sad and pisses me off, because Jokic can actually bully Rudy Gobert in the post.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he's so skilled. That's why he's the best center in the league. He's just so skilled. He could do everything. He could pass the ball. He could rebound. He could score from anywhere, and do it at a good clip.
Well, Embiid didn't make it out of the first round. Jokic did, so I'm gonna give you the one on that one. We'll see what happens next year. Oh man! All right, all
This
right.
year when the Nuggets win the championship.
Oh my. Okay, we're done. Let's.
Okay, so we'll go on to the first round of the first game of the second or the first series of the second round.
Yeah,
Celtics Raptors.
that's a good series.
Like
It became a good series. It was starting to look like a sweep, but it became a good series.
I couldn't like they were up 2-0 and OG saved them. Like
Yeah, that was a great save.
this just shows like in today's game, like even like a 20 point lead in a game is not safe
Yeah,
anymore
yeah,
because any team can come back. And then this is just showing the Raptors championship pedigree. Like they're not going to go down without a fight.
yeah.
I think I do see the Celtics winning, but I think this game is going to go to 7 because I don't see the Celtics winning 2 in a row. Like if I think the Celtics win, the Raptors will win, and then it goes to Game 7.
But
It's going to be hard.
do you think there's any chance of the Celtics lose this series?
I think if they do lose, it will be in 7. If they lose, it will be in 7.
That's fair. No, and that's the thing. We talked offline that if it wasn't for the Bucks pick, I was leaning towards either Celtics Heat. I don't want to see the Celtics win another championship, but after the fight I'm seeing with the Raptors, and they are a defensive, juggernaut themselves. They could take it to those boys, Jason Tatum and those guys. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be a very exciting series to see completed. And then Nick Nurse got the Coach of the Year, so we'll see.
And so then so it's tied up 2-2 so far,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll move to Bucks Heat with the other series in the East.
Yeah.
And this has been amazing to see, just because I don't. Like,
oh, okay.
So they were down 3-0, and then we just finished watching them, the Bucks come back without Giannis for this almost the whole second half.
Yeah.
And even if the Bucks do, if the Heat win the next game, they win 4-1, like it's still embarrassing. Even if they I don't know, I can't even see them winning another game, to be honest, unless Giannis drops a 50-point triple double.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we just finished watching Game 4, an amazing, fun show, spectacle, piece of entertainment, and the Heat are so much better than I thought they were. I really downplayed them. Jimmy Butler showed us why he wanted his own team. Like he deserves the respect that he needs his own team. And I thought he was crazy to lead the Sixers. An amazing job just the whole season, rallying that team behind him and Pat Riley and whatever coach that they have with them. And
Eric Spoelstra.
I know Eric Spoelstra. I'm saying it to trigger you, but you saw through that. But no, I don't think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep. I think Giannis will come back. He'll play the Game 5. They'll win that. It'll be 3-2, and then maybe that's when the Heat will actually finish the job in a game 6 and win it. What's up? What'd you say, Joe? Oh, you're muted or something. Nah, sorry, man. Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yeah. Go ahead, talk. That's weird. I would rejoin.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
No problem. We'll get through this. Technical issues and all. But yeah, sorry. What were you saying about? Yeah.
I think Bucks Heat, right? And so oh, okay, yeah. I just think that the Heat are so deep that and how I don't know why Giannis is only playing 35 minutes a game. That is Chris Middleton just played 47 minutes a game. What is stopping Mike Budenholzer from playing him even 40 minutes a game?
Well, he has a bad ankle. All right, he does have a bad ankle.
before they were down 3-0 in games 1 and 2, how come he couldn't play 40 minutes a game to make sure they do win that game?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that's a great critique. Giannis is supposed to be the MVP of the league, and he already won Defensive Player of the Year. If I was Giannis, I would play man-on-man defense on Jimmy Butler. Like, I would be taking notes about this game 4 and saying, I'm going to play him one-on-one. Like, here are my notes. I'm write this down, and I'm going to play him one-on-one. Like, Giannis needs to fight his way back into the series by playing defense. He's not going to fight his way back into the series by shooting more threes, because he's terrible at shooting threes. He's better than Ben Simmons. He's better than Jokic at shooting threes. But he's
no.
I'm just playing. He's better than DeRozan, though. Come on, you gotta look at the numbers. He's better than DeRozan at shooting threes.
No.
Anyways, but the thing is, I would sit in a chair for the rest of the series and make sure I would clamp up and frustrate Jimmy Butler, because here's the thing: the Bucks do not have a guy like Jimmy Butler on their team. The Warriors need Draymond Green. So apparent that they will need a Draymond Green type of player, right? The Heat have that guy in Jimmy Butler. The Celtics collectively kind of have that for themselves. Like, and, you know,
they have Marcus Smart.
They do have.
Marcus
That's
Smart.
true. They do have Marcus Smart. They have Marcus Smart, and the Lakers. I don't know who that is for them, and I'm very worried if they were to meet against the Heat. I'm not sure who that is, but I want to say T.J. Warren, not T.J. Warren. Who's the guy on the light-skinned dude on the Rockets?
PJ?
Yeah, PJ Tucker. They have PJ Tucker on the Rockets, right? So these teams, and then in the Clippers have a Patrick Beverly, right?
Patrick Beverly, Montrezl Harrell, Marcus Morris, they're full of dogs.
They have full of dogs, goons, whatever you want to call them. And I feel like in today's game, even though it is very soft, you need 1 to 2 goons to take a hard foul, to karate chop somebody, to do something, to push them into a corner and yell something about their mama in their ear in between, like, so a ref doesn't hear them. You need someone to disrupt them and give that kind of negative energy throughout, that dog energy. And I am worried for the Bucks that they do not have a single person on that roster besides maybe Robin Lopez. He doesn't get the time.
Right.
They should get Robin Lopez, give him some time, and have him fight Jimmy Butler. Just try to get Jimmy Butler thrown out of game. Do something.
Well, they were teammates. They were teammates. I think they're cool.
In Chicago. Yeah, but honestly, I would just, if I was Robin, I'd make something up. Like, you said something about my brother. You talked about my mother. Just make something up in your head and start swinging. Just start swinging. And just see if you get Jimmy Butler to throw one. If he throws one punch, he's out of there. It's desperate times. Call for desperate measures.
Yeah. But if Robin Lopez and Jimmy Butler get in a fight, I'm picking Robin Lopez, because that guy's just crazy. He's bigger than him. He's
yeah, but just because you're big, I mean, you can take a big guy out if you just lift him up and throw him down. So, you know, timber. But yeah. I feel you. I'd probably go with Robin Lopez too. Plus, you know, Brook Lopez is going to come in and get his shots. Yeah, so.
Okay. And so then we'll move to the West.
Well, no, whoa. Oh. Not yet. Here's the thing too. A couple more things here with Giannis. If he loses this series, which is most likely he will, this has got to be one of the most embarrassing losses that an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year combined, I don't think we've seen that since Jordan, has ever faced. Is this something that he can come back from?
I think, like, the only way, like, his career, like, is fully, like, recovered is if he wins a championship with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like,
if he moves to the Warriors, right? Then
if he pulls a KD, then yeah. I mean, but, like, if Kevin Durant, like, goes to it, he's in Brooklyn now, and if he wins the championship with Kyrie, I think it does show that, like, it doesn't matter where he was, like, he win anyway, right? I think that will prove that. But yeah, Giannis has to win a championship with the Bucks. When he loses in the first round, the only thing that's gonna make his name look better if he wins the championship.
Okay, and also at the same time, this looks like with Giannis and the history that he's had these troubles. I remember Giannis and the Bucks losing a 7-game series first round to the Celtics back when they lost Kyrie and they had lost Gordon Hayward. And the Celtics beat him in a 7-game series, and they finally went to the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron. This shows a pattern. You have Dwight Howard, physically gifted, a beast, a man amongst boys, and then you have even going back as far as Shaq, and then you have even LeBron James, and now Giannis. You have this template of these physical, athletic freaks who can beat you in the season, win the MVP, but can't win it in the deep playoff run. Like, and
They can't do it by themselves.
they can't do it by themselves, but they need that skilled player beside them, right, to guide them through those tough moments when it seems that teams can wall them off from the easy 2-pointers, right? Michael Jordan didn't need that. He had a Scottie Pippen. He had his wing defenders. He needed a dog, right? He needed rebounders, right? But we've never seen an athletic freak like a Shaq, like a Giannis, like a LeBron win it, or Dwight Howard win it, and they be the number one person on their team without a second star that's as good as them, but from the perimeter standpoint. Without D Wade, does LeBron ever win a championship? Without Kyrie, does he ever win a championship? Right? So,
And I think that problem is because Chris Middleton is not that guy. Like,
he's not.
Chris Middleton is an all-star. He's a great player, but
it
takes 2 superstars to do it.
Right. Well, I just think also, will the league look now less to these physically gifted freaks, because Zion Williamson's supposed to be that same mode, right? If they can't also plug him up with a superstar next to him, that has the skills from the perimeter perspective. I think if I was a GM, I would stop looking at these guys to draft, because they also come with injury baggage, right? And they come with such low levels of skills from the sense of like shooting from the perimeter, free throw shooting, which is plaguing Giannis right now. So if I was Giannis and if I wanted to leave Milwaukee, instead of looking at the Warriors, I would look at someone more like a Greg Popovich. Let's say he retires from the Spurs, maybe draw him to Milwaukee because he taught Tim Duncan everything he knew to get him into position. If Giannis can develop the back-to-back game of a Tim Duncan and get the team around him that he currently has, but he gets that back-to-back, back-to-the-basket form going, and obviously a better shooting form, he could reinvent himself very quickly. But if he goes the road of a Dwight Howard who doesn't reinvent himself from a skill perspective, I mean, this could be the end of Giannis that as we know it.
I think without a doubt he's gonna resign with the Bucks. I don't question it, but when he does resign, I think 1 or 2 more years, if there's no championship, he's gonna request a trade. I think that's just, and he's probably going to go to a powerhouse to team up with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's, I've been thinking, like, what's an unexpected like matchup, a team where he'd go to? Because we think of these like top heavy dogs. We think of the Rockets. We think of the Warriors. We think of the Clippers. Like, we think of the Celtics. But like an interesting tandem would, like, Giannis could go somewhere where he still has something to prove, would be the Hawks. Trae Young and Giannis together.
Wow.
And I just came to mind, like, if he goes like that, Trae Young, give him a 1 or 2 more years, and I think we could say like he's safe, right? He is who he really is.
He's not a bust.
We pair him aside Giannis, and I think that's a LeBron Kyrie tandem right there. Like,
true.
And if I can see that maybe winning him a championship, and it doesn't look so bad, because Trae Young, at this point, Trae Young and Chris Middleton, like the value, because Trae Young's a little young, is fairly younger, his value's higher, but the same like production and everything, I would say like is worthy. But in 1 or 2 years, I think Trae Young will fully be up there, and it might be a little weird because they have Clint Capella, but he may be gone in a year or so. We don't know about.
And Giannis could still use a Clint Capella to help him on the post area, or at least to sub and give him some minutes, because he seems to not take huge minutes in games for some reason.
But I would love to see if he goes to like a younger team that's developing and he goes in there and just clicks them together. That would be also interesting.
Yeah,
it would be more fun to see that rather than him just going to a powerhouse to team up there.
Like the Warriors. 2 other teams, now that you said that, I would like to see him go to would either be the Pelicans, with B.I. there, Zion Williamson, and then Alonzo Ball to kind of, at least he has a defensive guard who's like really great. He could sometimes have great performances. But if he goes to the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and runs the floor. That's
why, I wish I wish Kevin Durant didn't leave to like. I wish he went to like a younger team to go help a younger team to elevate them.
Yeah.
Like,
But then I don't know if it's one of those things like LeBron needed. It's like I need to learn how to win. Like the Warriors were like the Spurs. They were like the team, the franchise to go to learn how to win at the time. Maybe that's what it took. The only thing I would say is, and again, I don't think these stars would do this. But if I was Giannis, I would take a major pay cut to go play with some young talent. But that's really supremely talented. Like if you were to go play with Devin Booker, I would take a pay cut to go do so. And really bring that team up. That would be awesome. I would love to see that.
Well, I don't like. He's going if he signs his max, he's going to sign the max, right? As much as you can get with Milwaukee. How are you going to trade that max contract? Is the hard part.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I was him, I would not resign, take a pay cut, go to Phoenix, or go to the Pelicans.
Oh, this offseason. You're saying this offseason.
That's what I would do if I was him. Because I think everyone's been talking love for Budenholzer. He's not very good. He can't get you into the finals. He's proven he can't get you into the conference finals. I don't think he's as good as people are making him out to be. He's not Nick Nurse. He's not Brad Stevens. Budenholzer is an A-OK coach, and the coaching staff are doing as good of a job as they can with Giannis, but they don't know how to use him. So I would just, yeah. But cool. All right, so that I just wanted to make sure we covered that topic in full. Where's Giannis going? But yeah, all right, let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, so we'll go to the West, and we'll talk Clippers Nuggets.
Yes, sir.
And it was like I think it was really messed up of the league to like because the games aren't they. It's not like they haven't since the what is it called when they didn't play
the bubble.
No, but they decided to boycott or they didn't play a couple games. The Bucks,
right?
And so they could have rescheduled the rest of the games, right? They just bumped it up, right? And so I think they really did the Nuggets dirty by like they didn't have to say, oh, you're gonna play game 1 in 2 days, right? They could have because it wasn't scheduled. They could have said, okay, you're gonna play in 2 games. You'll get 2 days rest and then you'll play. But they literally said, nope, you get tomorrow off and then you get to play the rested Clippers.
Yeah.
They were off for almost a week and you can tell that first game they were just exhausted. They were just
compared to their game 2 performance, you could say that was it. But you know what? That's the benefit you get for putting a team down early, like the Clippers did, versus the Nuggets stretching out to game 7. So I feel like you also don't want to you want to reward the team for finishing faster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they went to 6 with the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers went to 6 and the Mav and then the Nuggets went to 7. So it would have been 2 more days of rest, but they got a whole week of rest, and then the Nuggets finish a game, and then they have to play the day after. That's a little too much.
It's the NBA didn't see the walkouts happening, the boycotts.
But I'm saying they had the opportunity to fix it. Like they could have said, okay, you don't have to play the day after tomorrow. You could play 2 days after, which would happen in a regular. If they weren't in the bubble, they play every 2 games. They play every 2 days, right?
Yeah, I want the Clippers to lose. So I'm with you emotionally, but I think logically it was right. It was still the right move to go.
But like and then game 2, the Nuggets came out guns blazing.
Yeah,
they both had and then I think this is probably going to go same thing like the Maverick series, the Clippers Maverick series. It's going to probably go the same way. I don't see the Clippers are rested. They're healthy and everything. And I think
Patrick Beverley back. Yeah,
the Nuggets are banged up from the first round, but you never know because last year the Nuggets were 1 win away from the conference finals against the Warriors. They went to 2 7-game series.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They do have the experience if they put it all together.
Yeah, I like their squad. I didn't want them to win out of the first round. Again, I'm a big Donovan Mitchell fan. I do not like Jamal Murray because of what he was trying to do to my Lakers back in the day. But I do think if Jamal Murray can still keep cooking like he has been doing, if Jokic is truly the best center in the league, they should have no problem going against the Clippers and actually beating them in this series. I actually am going to go with the Nuggets to win this series in a Game 6 or Game 7. I think they have the personnel to beat them. I'm not sure if they have the dogs to go at Montrez and Pat Bev or Marcus Morris. But, to be honest, I think it's time the league should come down on Morris. What he did to Doncic in the first round, I mean, that's ridiculous. He needs if you're gonna suspend Draymond in the finals for 1 game for yelling the word B at LeBron James and cost the Warriors a championship. If you're gonna do that, Adam Silver, then you need to. Marcus Morris needs to be out for at least 2 or 3 playoff games in this series for what he did to Luka Doncic. This is ridiculous. He stepped on his ankle multiple times, yelled in his face, got into fights with him, got KP slapped on the head, got KP kicked out in the first game, and then karate chops him. Come on. The man is a liability. He's hurting. He's trying to hurt players. And again, I'm all for the goon stuff. If he was on the Lakers, I would defend him right now. But he's not on the Lakers, so get him off. Get him off. Get him off the court, please.
Yeah, I will say this. The only way I see the Nuggets winning.
What are you gonna say?
No, the only way I see the Nuggets winning the series is in 7. That's it. There's no way. And Jokic has the chance to average 30 this series because Zubac and Montrezl Harrell, that's not stopping Jokic. Jokic is.
If he is the best center in the league, there shouldn't be a problem for him.
Well, I mean, he dropped 30 against them last night and 14 and
5
assists.
So it shouldn't be a problem for him. If this was Embiid, I would expect him to win this series. So that's all I'm saying. If Jokic is here, he's the best player in the league, or best center in the league. Jamal Murray's no scrub. They got the young kid off the bench. They got Gary Harris back, right? They have they have Paul Millsap. Yeah. They got a good squad. So what's good? I mean, let's see this. Y'all talking? You Jokic fans are talking a big game. Show me some. That's what I want to see.
They got out of the first round.
Oh, beautiful.
They got out of the first.
They got out of the first round. Beautiful.
Yeah, well, I think they didn't get swept. They didn't get embarrassed. They won it. Jokic won a game. He won one game.
Okay.
Jokic won. No, he won 4 games. I forgot. He won 4. What's good is Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Lou Will, and how stacked that team is.
Paul George is George Paul right now, so please, you can't even use him. Lou Will is Lou Will. I mean, that's fine. He's better than DeMar DeRozan. He's a better scorer. We get it.
No, he's not, bro. That's some blasphemy.
But I'm just saying, the whole thing we have to do is let Kawhi Leonard score his 25 or 30 points per game, right? But make sure no one else scores, and get Jokic out there to draw fouls and to put Montrezl Harrell in foul trouble and Zubac in foul trouble and just beat him, because this is not the Rockets. Like, if this is the Rockets, I would say Jokic is a liability, but this is not the Rockets. There's no small ball going on here. The Clippers don't have the personnel to run small ball, in my opinion. So you have the best center in the league in the playoffs right now. Use him. I don't see how they don't win this series, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I don't see how the Sixers didn't win their series if Embiid is the best center in the league. So
because Ben Simmons is out with a legit injury. He's out.
You have Tobias Harris. You have Josh Richardson. You have Al Horford. That's
Josh Richardson is what a 12-point per game scorer. Is that what you're saying?
A 15 to 18 point per game scorer. Al Horford
not in the bubble.
No, not in the bubble, but that's what he is. That's what
I know. But in the bubble, they're a different team. The Sixers are a team. Yeah, but the Sixers are bad. That's true, but the Sixers are a team that thrive off of the stadium. Joel Embiid loves playing to the crowd, whether it's his home crowd or the away crowd. They get up for this stuff. They're not. But that's not a bubble team.
To get swept. That's not an excuse to get swept.
You're right, but he also didn't have Ben Simmons, which is his all-star mate. If Jokic didn't have Jamal Murray, do you think he'd win? Do you think they beat the Jazz in first round?
No.
Okay, that's all I'm trying to say.
But they don't get swept.
You don't know that, dude. The way Donovan Mitchell was playing, if it wasn't for Jamal Murray, y'all would have been cooked in game 1, and that would have been the end of it.
No.
Yes, sir. But we can go at this all day.
All right. So okay. Yeah. So if the Nuggets win this series, it's gonna be because of Jokic. He already in what he did in game 2. Like, if he keeps doing that to Harrell and Zubac, and really the Clippers for the majority of the game, because Zubac only plays 15 minutes a game. For the majority,
they're not very big.
Play small. Yeah, they do play small. Montrezl Harrell's 6'7", 6'8". He's extremely under.
That's true. That's a good point. But they're not. What I meant is that they're not. I don't think they're very effective at small ball like the Rockets are.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they don't. But I think most likely the outcome of this series is Clippers in 6, because I do think the Nuggets are going to win one more. But if it's the stretch, will be Nuggets in 7. That's the only.
This all depends on Paul George. Like, literally, the championship is in his hands. If Paul George goes off like Kawhi Leonard's been going off, then the Clippers will win the championship. But I am starting to not believe in PG-13 anymore. Like the way he played, it's not like he was really being defensively limited. Like it's not like Luka shut him down. And the way he played in that round one, I just don't believe in him. Like I think the Nuggets, just like the Mavericks, stay healthy, don't get baited into fights, and I think the Nuggets can come out with a series win.
Yeah, I just think that let me see. I think the Clippers could win without Paul George. Like Kawhi Leonard doesn't need a Paul George.
Not the series. Yeah,
last series Paul George was terrible the whole series except for the last game.
No. It was I think it was game 5. It was game 5. He lit up.
Yeah, Paul George had one or two good games towards the end, right? But all before that, Kawhi Leonard won 2 games by himself.
No, but game 5 is very important in a series, in a best of 7 though.
Well, it was without Chris Pax. Like Paul George all of a sudden started going out when they didn't have Porzingis, just because he was driving to the rim and getting easy open layups without Porzingis there.
I'm just saying. So you have Jokic. You have who's that tall rookie? What's his name?
He's not playing. Bol Bol?
No, I don't know why you ain't playing Bobo, but no, the shooter, Michael Porter Jr. is tall enough to put a hand up.
No, he's not.
But he's 6'10". No. I'm just saying he's 6'10". He can put a hand up. And then you have Paul Millsap down there. You have a bigger front line than the Clippers, so that should limit Paul George, right?
No, because Jokic is not a rim. They have no rim protector. The Nuggets don't have.
Then he's not the best center in the league. He's not the best.
He doesn't have to be a rim protector to be the best center.
If you're 7 foot, you should be a rim protector automatically.
Where is that?
It's a waste of skill. It's a waste of genetics.
No, it's not, because he gave you 30 points last night, he gave you 15 rebounds last night, and he gave you 5 assists and won a game against one of the best defensive teams in the league.
All right, we'll see how this series plays out.
And then the last series, Lakers Rockets.
Yeah, I'm scared. Can I go first on this one?
Go ahead.
I am a Lakers fan, born in a championship year. I love my Lakers, and I want to see them get 2 more championships so we can beat the Celtics. And I don't even want the Clippers to win a championship because I don't want them ever to hang a banner in a Laker stadium. That's how much of a diehard Laker fan I am. I was a fan even when Chris Min was my center. I remember those days. Those days were hard. I remember being a fan when Magic and that whole squad was gone. And I remember, like rooting for Divock before he went to the Kings. And then hating Divock when it was the Kings battling out the Lakers in the playoff series. I am legitimately scared right now that most Laker fans are oblivious to the whole idea. The Lakers won, just like I say about the Clippers, the Lakers won their series against the Blazers because CJ McCollum walked into the playoffs with a broken back. And Damian Lillard did not show up for games because he was also injured. If you have a healthy backcourt for the Blazers, the Lakers lose in 6. The Lakers lose in 6 because we don't have the protection for guard perimeters. So game 1 showed it right there. If Russell Westbrook's going at you at full speed, who on the Lakers is stopping him? And then LeBron James, he's only 31, but he's playing like a 40-year-old on defense. He's not able to stop James Harden.
I think he's 34. He's older than that.
No, I think he's only 31, 32.
No, DeMar DeRozan's 31, 32.
All right. Well, I'm just saying he's playing like Olay defense. James Harden goes like one crossover, goes to the cup, and LeBron is looking for JaVale McGee to help him out. Come on.
I think if James Harden, Russell Westbrook, if they're both scoring 28 plus a night, it's going to be extremely hard for the Lakers to outscore them with just LeBron and AD.
Yes, sir.
And that's just what's going to come down to. If AD and LeBron could outscore James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and I don't see that happening for 4 games, right?
Well, they can because Russell Westbrook, he's declined in his scoring ability in the playoffs, in my opinion. That's the only hope we have. But we're not stopping James Harden.
Well, he missed the first 4 games in the first round, and so he hasn't gotten back into his groove. And I think last game settled him in, and I think he should be good to go for the rest of the series.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So You have here as a note, small ball masterpiece. What do you mean by that?
There is some stat that's saying like PJ Tucker guarded Anthony Davis for like 26 possessions, and Anthony Davis did not score 1 point. I don't know how Anthony Davis is like he can't have games like that.
No, I agree. This is why I didn't want to trade all those young talent for him.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I was so mad when LeBron even came here. This is why, Magic, I love you as a player, but you were a terrible general manager for us. Like, we did not need LeBron James. LeBron James was already old. He barely won that championship against the Warriors.
Yeah.
And we bring him in, mess up the chemistry with the young players, trade away good young talent, like D'Angelo Russell and Brook Lopez, and then we trade the rest of our young talent to bring in AD, who's not a proven commodity in this league. I mean, yes, he's a great talent.
He's not a proven winner.
He's not a proven commodity. He's not even a proven commodity in this league, in my opinion.
I think before LeBron and AD, the Lakers were like the management was like they're like we can't be losing this, like they can't win 20 games. The Lakers fans couldn't take them winning only 20 games a season.
I was a Laker fan. I was okay with it. If it's the rich Laker fans who are paying for seats at front court who are getting sick of it, that's who they listen to. Us regular fans, we love Bi. Some of us love Lonzo. We love Caruso.
I think they just couldn't wait any longer. They couldn't wait any longer, and they needed to make some kind of big time move to make Staples Center attractive again. Because the Clippers were stealing it during those years. The Clippers,
you're right,
with Lob City had stolen it.
But the thing is that what is the long-term success for this team? LeBron has, after this season, maybe 1, maybe 2 more seasons where he's an MVP candidate. He waits for his son to be drafted into the league, request a trade to go play with his son if he doesn't get drafted to the Lakers. AD, what we're seeing from AD?
Yeah. I mean, once LeBron declines, right? Like, it's going to be the same story. AD on the Pelicans, like,
but that's the thing. We're not going to even get the draft picks, so right, because we'll be making it into the playoffs, right? And the Lakers management,
You traded all the draft picks are gone. They're gone.
This is why I was when they were saying LeBron was coming that summer. ESPN, I was listening to ESPN 710 LA, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be so great. LeBron is coming." I was literally one of those fans that said, I don't want LeBron. LeBron's a great player, but I don't want him. He's going to destroy it. Huh?
He didn't fit the timeline.
Exactly. Now, if the Lakers get this chip, I will shut up. But it's looking very likely that we're not going to get this chip.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, like, even if they win this championship, right, you're going to be happy for, like, this year and next year. But, like, after that, when you have no capital, when you have no young talent, and you're old, like, it's going to be the same thing.
Like Cleveland. It'll be like Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be the same thing that, like, after the, like, from, like, 2014, or from even 2013 to 2019, just until last year or whatever, it's going to be that all over again. And it's probably going to be worse.
Yeah. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. All right, we beat this topic. I mean, I'm just scared. I still want to say, is there anything else you want to say? Lakers lose game 1-Y or anything about that?
Yeah, I think they just got outspaced. Like,
yeah,
you can't. They don't. Besides Anthony Davis, like Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee are not going to be impactful in this series, and so they're going to have to rely on wings, which they don't have. Like, they don't have, like, they're not, like, getting more players or whatever. That's it, and they're going to have to try to work without it.
Yeah, I think they have to start making some real decisions on personnel. I think the rookie we have, I forget his name. It's like a. Anyways, they have. Yeah, I say play him.
Yeah.
Play Danny Green less.
Mm-hmm.
And I would maybe sit up in the starting lineup, that guy that we got from the Heat. And I hate to say this, but play JR. Play JR a lot more, because
I think LeBron demanded that, like, he played the point guard, right? That, like, he was like, I think they're getting stuck in this, like, oh, LeBron's our point guard. LeBron's our point guard, right?
Yeah.
But when LeBron won championship, he wasn't the point guard, right? And so I think if you slide him back down, play the 3, but make him play the like if he's a small forward, right? Make him play the 4, put AD at the 5, and then you put JR, Danny Green, and the rest of the shooters around him. And because I don't know why like your fans and like they're so stressed like, oh, LeBron's our point guard, when that doesn't mean anything, because even though LeBron's on the floor playing the point guard, you're still playing 2 guards with him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter because he's still that forward. He's a point forward, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not changing anything that he's playing the point guard, because you're still playing 2 guards. Because they play Danny Green at the small forward, but he's really a 2 guard.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not changing anything. It's still like if he's at the 3.
No, that's so true. And I'm looking up game 1 stats right now. Eric Gordon scored 23 points. James Harden scored 36. Russell Westbrook scored 24 points. And that was pretty much all she wrote with the rest of that squad. When you have Eric Gordon give you 20 plus points on 50% shooting from the field, that's just a mess. And then from the Lakers side, LeBron gives you 20. He gives you only 20 points in a playoff game. That's not enough. Anthony Davis gives you 25. And he actually shot pretty well. 62.5% from the field. But then you have no third scorer. Kuzma gives you 8. Caruso gave you 14. Danny Green gives you 10. That's not going to cut it. They need LeBron to score 25, and they need a third person to score like another 20 points.
Because I think with the Rockets, you're getting at least you're going to get 50 points out of Harden and Westbrook, right? Combined, they're going to give you around 50, right?
Yeah.
And they could say with confidence that PJ Tucker is going to give them 10, Rocco is going to give them 15, Eric Gordon is going to give them 15. They know those players can sit in the corner and wait for those shots to come to them.
And they can pop off on any night.
Yeah.
And then honestly, Austin Rivers can come in and give you 15 points. He gave him 10 in that first game.
Yep. Like the Lakers need like a spark plug off the bench, and they don't have it. And the Rockets have plenty spark plugs that could come off the bench to give.
Well, we do, but we need to start playing them right at the bottom of the lineup that received the less minutes. We have Markieff Morris, Deion Waiters, Jared Dudley, and J.R. Smith. It's time. It's time to first of all play Rajon Rondo at the point until LeBron James to sit his butt down in the post, and the rest of those 4 boys that I talked about, play them heavy minutes because they have playoff experience. They're dogs and they don't care. So
I think that you need to take away split Dwight and JaVale McGee's minutes, give them to a true 4, like Markieff Morris, who's a 4. Like, give it to more wing players so they have a chance to keep up with the Rockets. That's the only way that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because this is it was sad to see, and also just LeBron. We may have to get another Kuzma push gift out of this series because LeBron is just doing Olay defense. We need Kuzma to maybe be there to push him into his defensive position because this is looking ridiculous. And if you watch our channel, you've already seen me look at LeBron James and give an analysis of his defense. I'm sorry. I know he's 35. I just looked it up. He is 35 years old. I get it. But it's not an excuse. I'm a Lakers fan. I expect championships, and you're only going to give me championships if you play defense. That's all I'm going to say.
I think the Rockets like out rebounded them, I think, last game. And they're like their tallest player is 6'8", right?
Yeah.
And then the Clippers have 2 7-footers and Anthony Davis and LeBron James. LeBron James should be able to out rebound the Rockets himself, right? Or out rebound
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's just like you said. It's the timeline. LeBron James, 7 years ago, perfect. Bring him to LA. Get a young AD, beautiful, but a 35-year-old LeBron James at the tail end of his career with nothing really to prove.
Like, I think if they did this trade before the last season started, or I mean,
they should have never done the trade. They should have waited for AD one more season. He's coming to LA. He doesn't re-sign with the Pelicans. We get Zion or somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Follow us. We're going to have the next podcast coming up very soon. We're going to give you our NFL Week 1 breakdown and analysis. This is the Get This Work podcast. My name is Jesus. This is Joseph, and we thank you so much. Remember, get this work. All right, I'm just going to keep it rolling. We'll cut it right there. Oh, man. The Lakers. I'm gonna start to feel like Stephen A. Smith, like a New York Knicks fan, bro.
Yeah.
If we don't win this championship, it's about to be another 5 years of disaster.
And no, it's not like you can't trade. Like, the only person that has value on their team anymore is Kuzma. Like, and then if you trade Kuzma, it's not like you're gonna get anything better than him. You're probably gonna get an older player.
Well, here's the thing that we didn't talk about. The only hope the Lakers could have, but it's a very sorry hope, is that AD doesn't re-sign this year because he's end up at this contract. If the Lakers don't win, and even if they do win, and he feels like LeBron's not going to be around long enough for him to want to stay, and he wants to sign with the Pelicans or sign with the Phoenix Suns or the Atlanta Hawks or Boston Celtics like he wanted to do originally, right? If he does that, then we could possibly get like a draft pick because we'll only win like 30, 40 games. But that's the only thing I can see.
Even then, like, so if AD doesn't resign, right, and all the players are up on their contracts, this free agent class is a terrible. There's no free agents really. The best free agent is Anthony Davis, and DeMar DeRozan he has a player option, and that's it. Like, there's no other bigger free agents than that. There's no all-star that's like the best player they can get. Like, realistically, is probably Fred VanVleet.
And don't say that.
And that's the only like well off unrestricted free agent because besides AD. After AD, all the other players have player options, and then the best player that doesn't is Fred VanVleet.
And that's all we have for the Get This Work Sports podcast. This is our outro because we forgot to record one. But anyways, my name is Jesus. I'm one of your hosts, and Captain Joe is your other host. Thanks for listening, and always remember to get this work when you're watching, playing, or living the sports dream.